The Pacers had a great response, but the talent of the Thunder was just too much in this one. The Thunder defeat the Pacers in Game 5, moving one game away from winning the NBA championship, defeating the Pacers 120-109. And honestly, this was a back-and-forth game in terms of momentum. Like, it was basically a boxing match where the Thunder threw the first punch and went back and forth between them and the Pacers, and then ultimately, the Thunder were able to come up on top. But tell me if I'm wrong, but in the first half, I was getting Game 1 vibes, where the Thunder looked absolutely dominant throughout the first half, but it felt like it should have been a lot bigger. Yes, J-Dub was playing great. Yes, Keeson Wallace hit 3 threes, the same thing as Aaron Wiggins. Yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was having a good game. But at the same time, the Pacers were just hanging around in that 15-point range, that 12-point range, so they weren't fully out of it. But trust me, it looked extra worrisome, especially when Tyrese Haliburton re-aggravated that calf injury he's had throughout the series in the first half. He tried to play most of the game through the injury, but you could tell he could not even really run the offense. But even with Tyrese being a non-factor, the Pacers were still staying in the game. CJ McConnell had a phenomenal third quarter, chipping away at the lead. He had 15 points, hitting those Chris Paul mid-range jumpers that TJ's been hitting his entire career. You had that. You had Aaron Nesmith hitting threes. Obi Toppin having a good quarter. And then in the beginning of the fourth quarter, Pascal Siakam started the quarter with 12 points or something, and he cut the lead down to 2. But man, this Thunder team was just too good. They forced 4 straight turnovers after Siakam got it down to a 2-point game, and that's when they fully took over. Defensively into offense, Lou Dort and Alex Caruso just being absolute menaces on the defensive end. But ultimately, this game was won by their 2 stars, J-Dub, Jalen Williams. We finally got the Jalen Williams game. He had a 40-point game in the NBA Finals. He was phenomenal, 3-level scoring throughout the entire game. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP with 31 points and 10 assists. He was fine playing the Robin in this one because J-Dub was playing so good on both ends of the court. He really just kept the wheel running for the OKC Thunder, even when the Pacers were starting to get back in the game. Overall, the Thunder were just a better team today. They forced double the amount of turnovers that they committed. 22 turnovers for the Pacers. That's unacceptable. Especially when the Stars came back in the fourth quarter. That's when I felt like things really started to go downhill. They won the 3-point battle, and overall, they just had the better start production. 71 points combined from J-Dub and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the biggest difference maker, obviously. The Pacers tried their best. They had a big boost off their bench, but at the same time, you're not going to win basketball games when Tyrese Haliburton is scoring only 4 points in the game. I don't care if he's injured or not. Definitely going to be the biggest storyline going into Game 6, how healthy Tyrese Haliburton is going to be going into the game. And if he is healthy, is he going to be any sort of way of being effective? Because the Thunder will take advantage, and they have the Batman Robin to absolutely take over games and win them by themselves. Shout out to the Pacers for the comeback effort, but the Thunder were just too good today. But now they're 1 win away from the NBA Finals. This is the first time the Pacers are down in the series. Are they able to bounce back? Maybe the Pacers have a little bit of that magic left. We're going to have to wait till Thursday to find out.